I love it. I love it. I love it. Look at this. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Hey, I'm not surprised.
Hey, what's popping guys, what's good? UFC 288, another full card of predictions to make. I cannot wait for this main event. Hey guys, the return of Triple C. Hey, let's go. Let's go with that. Now guys, looking at my bets from last week, I did win with Martin Buday, but I did lose with Charles Johnson, I did lose with Quinlan, so yeah, my betting form recently has not been too good. And this is why it's really important to be like good with bankroll management. But guys, taking a look at the champions, the MoneyCity champions, let's go. Normally I spark a blunt for the MoneyCity champions, but I've actually not got a blunt rolled at the moment. But yeah, I'll hit the lighter. And guys, as always, if you see your name on the screen, that's money. Great job. The MoneyCity gang. We're always getting stronger every week. Look at this. This is good work. Don't forget to hashtag your comment if you do drop down a MoneyCity comment. And yeah, big respect to everyone that's cashing. Look at this. Let's go. Alright, moving into the first matchup on this card, we've got Daniel Santos taking on Johnny Munoz. This is a good matchup. Now guys, looking at Daniel Santos with his UFC debut against Julio Arce, this was a difficult debut. You know, Julio Arce is pretty good and he kind of caused some problems for Daniel Santos. And one of the main problems that he caused for Daniel was the footwork. You know, Julio Arce was just moving really consistently, really well. And Daniel couldn't really compete with that. You know, he was kind of following the opponent, having a real difficult time trying to find his shots. Now, that wasn't really the case in his most recent fight against John Castaneda. He did win this fight, and there was still adversity to overcome. But the footwork of John Castaneda wasn't as good as the footwork of Julio Arce. You know, and Daniel was able to kind of land his shots in this matchup. Now guys, looking at round one between Castaneda and Daniel Santos, how does Daniel Santos survive round one? How does he do it? You know, he got dropped by a head kick. He got dropped by a straight left hand. He got dropped again. No, not dropped again by a head kick, but wobbled really badly at the end of round one with a head kick. So yeah, round one, John Castaneda really should have got a TKO. And to be honest, if you replay that fight like 10 times and round one goes down like that, more than not, you know, John Castaneda is going to get his reward. But yeah, Daniel Santos, you know, overcame adversity. Round two starts and Daniel Santos is still being aggressive. He's very, very aggressive. And eventually he's able to break John Castaneda. So credit to Daniel Santos. His style is very, very aggressive. Now on the flip side, Johnny Munoz does have some good jiu-jitsu and his technique isn't too bad. You know, the jab, the calf kick, they're pretty good. But guys, if I'm looking at the stand-up in this fight, I don't really think the striking of Johnny Munoz is going to be too effective against Daniel Santos. So more than likely, Johnny Munoz is probably going to try to grapple the opponent. And to be honest, guys, even thinking about the grappling, that's going to be a good watch because Daniel Santos is a black belt under Charlie Oliveira. And Johnny Munoz is also a black belt, so the grappling should be pretty good. For me personally, guys, I'm going to side with who I believe is more aggressive. And that's going to be Daniel Santos. I just think his aggression is going to break Johnny Munoz. Alright, moving into the next matchup, we've got Joseph Holmes taking on Claudio Ribeiro. And to be honest, guys, I'm quite confident with my prediction despite Claudio Ribeiro having a pretty bad UFC debut. And I say it's a bad UFC debut because anytime you have a UFC debut and you get knocked out, that would kind of be a bad UFC debut. However, guys, when you look at Claudio Ribeiro in that UFC debut, round one was okay. You know, he's landing some heavy calf kicks. And those calf kicks were doing some nice work. You know, he's a very explosive striker. Very good kicker. I believe the grappling for Claudio's probably going to be one of the weaknesses. You know, Al Hassan was able to push him against the fence and kind of keep him against the fence. But I'm not too sure that Joseph Holmes has the same physicality as Al Hassan. So I don't really see Holmes being able to push Claudio against the fence, especially not early in the fight. If we take a look at Joseph Holmes, you know, against Jamie Pickett in his UFC debut, he did get tired. Against Alan Amedovski, this was a nice win. And I did bet Joseph Holmes like 2 hours before the event started. And that's just because Alan Amedovski's like one of the worst. Like one of the worst the UFC's ever signed. Now against Jun Yong Park, the issue was the grappling, which is kind of the same issue that Claudio Ribeiro is going to have in the UFC. So guys, looking at Joseph Holmes, he has got tired so far in the UFC. Claudio Ribeiro is very explosive, where he's also going to get tired. Looking at Joseph Holmes, he got out grappled by Jun Park. Looking at Claudio Ribeiro, he's probably going to get grappled in the future. So the weaknesses are kind of similar. But when I look at these strengths, I see one guy who's way more explosive, and that's Claudio Ribeiro. So for Joseph Holmes to win this matchup, I think it's going to be difficult. I think when round 1 starts, you're going to see Claudio do the same thing to Joseph that he done to Al Hassan with the calf kick. And guys, when those big explosive calf kicks do land, I do believe they're going to set up the knockout. So give me Claudio Ribeiro to win this matchup, probably in round 1. Alright guys, moving into the next matchup, we've got Zhalgas Zhumagulov taking on Rafael Estevam. Now guys, Zhalgas Zhumagulov has kind of been unlucky in the UFC. His record is 1-5 and it should probably be more like 3-3. Because when you look at his most recent fights between Charles Johnson and Jeff Molina, these are split decision losses and they probably should have gone the way of Zhalgas Zhumagulov. I had a bet on Charles Johnson and I just don't get how I cashed that bet. And to be honest guys, when you go back and rewatch the tape of Zhalgas, I've never really been disappointed. Like, I've never watched a Zhalgas fight and really gone, yeah, this guy's trash. I've never done it. Like, guys, even in the fight against Manel Cape, the first 2 minutes of round 1, Zhalgas was doing some nice work. But then the speed, accuracy and power of Manel Cape started to kind of show in round 1 and it was the result. But yeah guys, like I was saying, I've never really been disappointed with Zhalgas Zhumagulov. Now guys, the opponent, Rafael Estevam, this guy got a contract from the Contender and you can see the groundwork, you can see the mauling performances. This guy's looking to take you to the mat. He's looking to do some damage on the mat. Now like I said, Zhalgas isn't too bad. His grappling's okay, the wrestling's okay, the striking's okay, he's tough. But guys, there's an 8-year age difference in this matchup and I think the wrestling of Rafael Estevam could be the difference. It's not a knock on Zhalgas. I just think if he can't defend the takedown and he's made to work on the mat, then the strength of Rafael is probably going to show. So give me the newcomer, Rafael Estevam, to get Zhalgas to the mat and to do some nice work. Alright guys, moving into the next matchup, we've got Ikram Aliskerov taking on Phil Hawes. This is a good matchup. Now guys, the Russian is a 4-time combat sambo world champion, which essentially means if he does choose to grapple with Phil in this matchup, he's probably going to do well. And that's not to say that Phil Hawes is like a bad grappler or anything like that. But comparing the skill set of the grappling, a 4-time combat sambo world champion, that's high level. And guys, look at what Aliskerov done on his Contender Series fight. Got that guy to the mat and the Kimura. It was good work. Now guys, for Phil Hawes, if he is going to win the matchup, he probably just wants to strike, just kickbox. So really guys, making a prediction with this matchup, you just want to pick who you think's going to be able to fight their fight. If Aliskerov does take Phil to the mat, that's his fight. On the flip side, Phil Hawes has to just keep it a striking matchup. My prediction personally, guys, I'm going to side with the Russian Aliskerov to get Phil Hawes to the mat. From there, just kind of dominate the fight. So yeah, give me the Russian to win this matchup with the combat sambo. Alright guys, next matchup, we've got Parker Porter, aka Spider Pig. Hey guys, make sure you don't say Parker Porter 3 times in the mirror because this man will ransack your fridge. He'll turn up in your house and he'll ransack your fridge. You don't want that. But yeah, we got a matchup between Parker Porter taking on Braxton Smith. Now guys, who is Braxton Smith? Who is this guy? Now I've gone and watched the tape. I've looked at the footage and to be honest, this guy's pretty good. He's sleeping all of his opponents. And when I look at Parker Porter, like the footage of Parker, his striking's not that good. The boxing's not too great and that's kind of why he got slept so early by Taffa. But guys, when you look at the betting line for this matchup, you're going to see that Parker is the favourite. And that's probably because he might take the opponent to the mat, choose to grapple the opponent. So if the matchup goes to the mat, then Parker, Spider Pig, is probably going to win the fight. But guys, if this matchup stays on the feet, Braxton's quick. So I wouldn't be shocked if he slept Parker. And I think at underdog odds, plus 160, it's probably a better deal. So yeah, give me the newcomer, Braxton Smith, to completely dust Parker Porter. Alright guys, next matchup, we've got Marina Rodriguez taking on Virna Jandiroba. And this is a good fight and really a difficult prediction to make because Marina Rodriguez is very good. The Muay Thai is good. But when you look on the flip side, Virna Jandiroba's not really about Muay Thai. She's all about grappling. She's all about jiu-jitsu, and that's really why this matchup's difficult to predict, because we know if it goes to the mat, Marina Rodriguez is not going to do well. And guys, more than likely if the matchup does stay on the feet, I think it's going to be difficult for Virna to compete. You know, the striking of Marina's just, it's a few levels above. Guys, in my opinion, this is really a matchup that you probably shouldn't bet. You know, the betting line is pretty close. It's very close. And it's close for a reason. You know, how are you going to be too confident that it stays a striking matchup? And how can you be too confident that we're going to go to the mat? I know there's one like comparison you could make with Marina Rodriguez against Mackenzie Dern, and I did take Marina at like plus 200 in that matchup. And essentially if Marina could avoid the mat against Mackenzie Dern, she's going to win the fight, and she did for the most part. And even when she did get taken to the mat, she was smart. So yeah, there's a good chance that even if Marina gets taken to the mat and loses a round based on the grappling, she could still win the matchup with the striking. And that's really what she done to Mackenzie. So yeah, give me Marina Rodriguez to win this matchup. Alright guys, moving into a matchup between Khaos Williams taking on Rolando Bedoya. Now guys, my prediction with this matchup is going to be Khaos Williams to win this fight, and probably early in the fight. And the reason why I'm going to side with that prediction, Khaos Williams is very, very dangerous. Now guys, on the flip side, looking at Rolando Bedoya, I kind of see him getting tagged. You know, he's getting tagged by all these opponents. And if those opponents that Rolando is fighting against are able to land like clean punches, I think if Khaos Williams can do that too, more than likely it's a round 1 stoppage. So yeah guys, give me Khaos Williams to win this matchup. I did underestimate the Russian Ronda from last week. But in my opinion, if Rolando wins this matchup, I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked. I think Khaos Williams is powerful, dangerous, and he should get it done. Alright guys, moving into the next matchup, we've got Devin Clark taking on Kennedy Nzechukwu. Now guys, in my opinion, one of these fighters is still getting better fight to fight, and the other one kind of seems the same every matchup. You know, Devin Clark is always looking to do the same thing, and that's like imposes physicality on the opponent. So more than likely, Devin Clark is going to look to wrestle in this matchup. You know, he's going to look to grapple with Kennedy. But guys, like I just said, in my opinion, Kennedy's still getting better fight to fight. You know, he's improving matchup to matchup. And guys, even looking at his most recent matchup against Cutelaba, like Cutelaba's a better version than Devin Clark. They do the same thing. And we did get that fight between Cutelaba and Clark where Cutelaba proved he's better. So I kind of think this is a matchup that Kennedy just fought. You know, he just fought against Cutelaba and he won that fight. And I think Devin Clark is a poor man's version of Cutelaba. So yeah, give me Kennedy to win this matchup. Guys, moving into a matchup that I cannot wait to watch this matchup, because Drew Dober is so exciting to watch, and so is Matt Frevola. This is going to be the last fight, the feature fight on the prelims, and what a way to end the prelims. You know, both of these guys are going to throw down. You know, guys, watching Drew Dober compete, this guy's awesome. You know, a chin made out of granite, and he's super powerful, super good, Muay Thai. And guys, on the flip side, looking at Matt Frevola, this guy's like been doing good work. Against Gennaro Valdez, that's good work. His most recent performance against Azatar, you know, dusted. So yeah guys, more than likely, both of these warriors are going to throw down. You know, this is going to be fireworks, and probably it doesn't leave round 1. Or if it does leave round 1, I think the under 1.5 is going to smack. You know, these guys are going to throw down. It's going to be a fireworks fight. And I think Drew Dober's chin is going to hold up. And that means I think Matt Frevola's chin, at some point, is going to fail him. I think Drew Dober's going to win this matchup. So guys, give me Drew Dober to inflict complete dusteration on Matt Frevola. That's my pick. If you waited to smoke with me, amen. If you've been smoking this whole time, that's a double amen. If you're not a smoker but you enjoy the smoke breaks, that's always been a triple amen. Let's go. Guys, you know what? I'm going to dedicate this smoke break to the Russian Ronda. I'm going to dedicate this smoke break to her. Because guys, I completely underestimated the Russian Ronda. This girl's not bad. She's really not bad. And what she done to Stephanie Egger, oh my god. Oh my god. I'm going to spark the blunt again for the Russian Ronda. My goodness. Guys, she's even trying to get in the octagon with her joggers on. Like, I cannot believe that performance. All the credit. I completely underestimated the Russian Ronda. And man, hopefully on this card, my betting lineup can do well. Hopefully it's a good lineup. But yeah, let's jump into the card. Now guys, Gracie is really good with his jiu-jitsu, but his boxing is not too good. His kicking's not too good. His footwork is not too good. His speed is not too good. And he's not exactly like a good wrestler. He's just really good at jiu-jitsu. And you kind of see this in the fight against Cub Swanson. He showed like a lot of toughness. But essentially Cub Swanson just used like good footwork and just boxed. Because guys, when you're just boxing, it's going to be safer than kicking. Because we know that we can catch the kick and work a takedown off that. So really, if Jourdain is going to win this matchup, he's just going to go re-watch the fight between Cub and Kron and just kind of replicate what Cub Swanson done in that matchup, which like I said is good footwork, consistent footwork and good boxing. And I think more than likely that would be the case, you know, considering the layoff that Kron has had. So yeah, in my opinion, I think Charles Jourdain would be the logical prediction to make, and I'm kind of shocked he's not like minus 250. So yeah, give me Jourdain to win this matchup. Alright guys, moving into a matchup between Movsar Evloev taking on Diego Lopes. Now guys, Evloev was originally supposed to fight Bryce Mitchell, which would have been a better matchup than this matchup because Diego Lopes, in my opinion, doesn't have a good chance. Guys, to be honest, Diego Lopes does have good jiu-jitsu, and that kind of would be the way that he would beat Evloev if he did win, but like I said, I don't really think he's got a good chance. And that's because Evloev is really good. Like, his footwork is good, his cardio, his speed, his intelligence, his wrestling, his composure, it's all good. I've never picked against Movsar, you know, he's very good. He did nearly get subbed by Mike Grundy and nearly got subbed by Nick Lentz, but essentially Movsar did show that his submission defense is pretty good. And like I said, the only way that I could really see Diego Lopes being able to win this matchup would be by submission, and I don't think it's likely. So yeah, give me Evloev to potentially find a stoppage or to dominate this fight for the whole 15 minutes. It would have been a much better matchup against Bryce Mitchell because Bryce is, you know, he is a jiu-jitsu player just like Lopes, but Bryce is more experienced and probably would have done better on the feet. But yeah guys, either way, I think Evloev was going to beat Bryce and he probably dominates this opponent even more. So yeah guys, give me the Russian to win this matchup, and pretty easily. Now guys, moving into a matchup between Jessica Andrade taking on Yan Xiaonan. Now for anyone that's going to pick Jessica Andrade to win this fight, you're going to make that pick, you're going to make that bet. For anyone that's going to do that, I don't think it's a bad bet because you can make a lot of good points that Jessica is going to win this matchup. Like, you can make the point she's a better striker, you can make the point she's quicker, more powerful, you can make the point she's fought against better competition, you can make the point she's got a better ground game. You know, you can make a lot of good points that Jessica is the right pick to make with this matchup. But guys, at the same time, Yan Xiaonan she's good. You know, her striking's quick, her kicks are very quick, and she's probably going to try to control the range on the feet, you know, make it difficult for Jessica to find her shots. So Jessica probably has to work her way on the inside, you know, take away the space, look to land her big powerful punches. For me personally though guys, I've never picked against Yan Xiaonan. I think she's pretty good, she's quick. Her Sander's good. Now guys, I did take Erin Blanchfield at like plus 150 to beat Jessica Andrade, and Erin Blanchfield had a different path to victory. You know, she had the grappling edge, whereas Yan is going to look to keep this fight on the feet. She's going to look to strike, and we know that Jessica's striking is very good, so this matchup, it's a good matchup on the feet. In my opinion, the underdog is probably the way to go, but if Jessica proved me wrong, I wouldn't be shocked. But yeah, give me the underdog in this matchup. I think it's a good matchup. Guys, this co-main event is super good. It's super good, and if anyone's super confident with their prediction, please let me know in the comment section below, because in my opinion, I don't know how you can be confident with this co-main event, because when you look at the footage of Belal, he's super good. You look at the footage of Gilbert Burns, also very good. Belal Muhammad, you know, he's a workhorse, he's got good cardio, good output, good wrestling, he's smart. And on the flip side, Gilbert Burns has got super good jiu-jitsu, but can he get Belal to the mat? And guys, to be honest, Gilbert Burns does kind of slow down a little bit. You know, his cardio's not as good as Belal Muhammad's. Guys, I kind of think Gilbert Burns would be the better striker in this matchup, but if he gets tired, Belal Muhammad is going to show us that. You know, Belal's going to stay working. So you're going to see like the fatigue of Gilbert Burns based on the output of Belal. He's a real workhorse, and this co-main event is just, it's too difficult to predict. As always, when it's really difficult to predict, it's a gun to the head type of prediction, you know what I'm saying? Gun to the head. Guys, gun to the head. I'm going to pick Belal Muhammad. Belal Muhammad to win this co-main event. It's a super good fight though, and really a 50-50 matchup. Now guys, the main event, Aljamain Sterling taking on Henry Cejudo. This is a very, very good main event, and I'm very excited like you guys, you know. I'm excited to see the return of Triple C. But guys, from a breakdown perspective, from a betting perspective, we've got to be logical. You know, we've got to be logical. And guys, the logic is Henry Cejudo's not competed since 2020. So guys, really when you think about the layoff that Henry has had, it kind of makes it difficult to bet this matchup from a betting perspective. You know guys, we're going to get excited with these matchups. You know, we watch these fights on a weekly basis and we like to bet on these matchups, but we've got to be logical. And the logic is exactly what I just said. You know, it's going to be difficult to bet this fight because Henry's had that layoff. We don't really know which Henry Cejudo is going to show up. However, guys, if we still look at the skills and we still try to analyze the skill sets to make a pick, we're going to look at the wrestling of Henry Cejudo being better than the wrestling of Aljamain. But then we could look at the jiu-jitsu of Sterling being better than the jiu-jitsu of Cejudo. I think it's fair to say both of these guys are very, very good grapplers. And when you look at the striking, even though both of these guys aren't strikers by trade, they're grapplers. When you look at the striking, I think it's still going to be a good competitive matchup. You know, Aljamain will kind of use good teeps, a lot of kicks, a lot of output. I think Henry Cejudo is pretty intelligent. He's a good competitor, but again, the layoff is a little bit concerning. Guys, here's the thing with this matchup. My prediction's going to be who I want to win. And who I want to win is going to be Henry Cejudo. But I'm not going to advise betting on Henry Cejudo because there's a lot of risk. With that layoff, there comes risk. And to be honest, even if like the best Henry Cejudo showed up, Aljamain is still good. He's still really good. He can grapple. Like guys, my betting advice would be, if you're really confident in Aljamain Sterling, if you're liking Aljamain at that price, it's not bad. You're going to be taking less risk with Aljamain than what you're taking with Henry. But if Henry was like closer to like plus 175, plus 200, then I'd make that bet. But yeah guys, my prediction, I'm going to side with just who I want to win. And that's going to be Triple C. One of my best underdog wins of all time was Henry Cejudo to beat Demetrius Johnson in that rematch. And he was like plus 400, something crazy like that. I've been a big fan of Henry Cejudo ever since that fight. So yeah, I would like to see him win this matchup. Alright guys, let me know you're taking in the main event, the co-main event, your MoneyCity plays, all that good stuff. And as always, keep your eyes to the sky and never glued to your shoes. That's Mac Miller. Peace.